Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it. Twitch TV/Mania Planet. This is where the racing is going to happen. We have high octane gameplay coming up tonight. We have the TrackMania Grand League, actually not on a foreseen date, because normally we have a 2-week break between each step, but today, on this Sunday, we actually will have qualifications for a slot that has been freed up recently. We have Sky, who has gotten disqualified from the TrackMania Grand League, and that spot is being fought for today in the open qualifiers for this competition. So everyone had the chance to qualify, to register for the qualification and give it a fair chance at qualifying for the TrackMania Grand League and to continue competing against all of the other champions that have been going at it for 5 steps already. So today we're gonna have the qualifications, which will be spread into 2 parts. We have Q1, which is gonna be a time attack phase, where the 16 fastest drivers will move on to Q2, and in Q2 we will play 3 different maps, and then you will just play for the points. There's no point loss in the qualifiers, so that's also something that you need to keep in mind, so the players will not lose their points in map 2 or map 3. So this is gonna be all about getting those top positions, because those are gonna be very, very valuable. And yeah, other than that, it is gonna be super exciting. Today I'm also gonna be accompanied by no one other than one of the champions themselves. It is gonna be Spam.
Hi.
Hi.
I am super excited for this one.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be really good.
Watching these guys warm up right now is actually tingling my veins.
Oh yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Especially one guy in particular, Massa, who seems to be on fire right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We can maybe have a look at all of the participants, because we still have 4.5 minutes left on the timer for the warm-up. So let's actually have a look here at this one here. So here we have all of the participants that have registered in this qualifier. So we have a bunch of actually really good drivers that are gonna bust it out tonight on the racetrack. So we're gonna start with Matt, Brazilian player. He is mostly known for being a trial player, one of the best actually. And now he's also gonna give it a fair chance at competing in this endurance format, which is actually pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to how Matt is gonna compete. Then we have Brian28, a name that I personally have not seen before. I don't know, what about you, Spam?
No, I'm trying to find him in the server, but I cannot find him. I don't think everyone that is registered on the website is actually in the server right now, so we have to look out for that one.
Alright. Then we have Alex, French player. I mean, there's tons of Alexes in the game, so it's kind of hard to say which Alex it's gonna be, but we have Alex, we have Arma, also a name that I have not seen yet. Coco,
yeah,
of course.
They seem to be representing a lot here.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great. Definitely nice to see.
It's a whole team. Team SQL.
Ah.
They have like 3 players playing, and Arma is one of them.
Ah, I see. That's great. That's great. We have Coco, of course, a big name right here. We can expect quite a lot from Coco, I think, tonight. He didn't manage to qualify before the season started through the French qualifier. He did not make it through. So Coco is going to have a second chance here. Yeah, I think we don't really have to say a lot about Coco. He's definitely going to be a top contender. Then we have Krim, also French player, mostly a dirt player. Going to be interesting to see how he's going to perform. Energies or Energize, I don't know how to pronounce that actually. Also a French player, so a lot of French players here. He's also gonna play. We have Tricky also playing. We have Zeno, a French player as well. Zarox, and then of course Massa. You already mentioned him, Massa, who was actually very motivated this entire week. He practiced every day, also streamed his progress, and he looks very, very solid on all of the tracks. So Massa definitely gonna be someone that might take it here tonight. Monty from Germany as well. Monty also gonna try it here, which is nice to see. Onyo, the next big name here in the list. Onyo, also someone that did not manage to go through the German qualifier. So yeah, Onyo, gonna be a tough one for him as well, because he is also gonna be on Massa's level for sure. Hawkey, Denny, K2S, Loki, also names that I have not seen. Then we have Plastorix from Poland, also a very fast player. He could be up for a surprise maybe. Then we have Tomic,
Plastorix. I
Hex.
don't think Plastorix is actually in the server here.
Oh, okay. That's
So
unfortunate.
That's
actually.
a bit yeah, it's really unfortunate. Would have loved to see him play, but we're starting here actually.
Oh, all right. Well, then gotta go back into the game here.
Yeah, we can continue the list on.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Pex, Rapira, Sozi from Russia, the only Russian player actually trying here, which is great. So Sozi's playing, Scotty is playing, Tween is playing, Afi, Yannex, and Wally. They have all registered. So we're actually gonna start here with Q1. So as I said before, we have the time attack phase. We have 10 minutes here on Betwinners. So the top 16 here of all of these players, we have 22 players on the server, so 6 will not make it, and 16 will make it to Q2, where it's going to be fought out for real. So, yeah, Betwinners, we can maybe have a look at the map preview if you guys are interested in that. It is a map that for sure is interesting.
Exactly.
So, let's take a quick look at this.
Let's go.
Alright, so we have Betwinners, of course, a map that we have seen in Step 5. And yeah, we have Spam, of course, in here who won this map in Step 5. So you can tell us the best about this map. What is important here? What are going to be the crucial parts? Of course, we know it's the end, but what else is there that makes or breaks your run on this track?
I think for the players right now, since it's a time attack session, you just have to go all out. But when we're talking about actually a 10-lap approach, my thing was always to save the complete map and then just full focus on the last part, the jump under the Zeppelin. And it's more of a feeling that you need to have in the last jump than actual like aim, because your vision is literally zero. It's almost like you're jumping into a fog. But yeah, the time attack session, you just have to go full all out. But then again, I don't even think that you need to go full all out right now, because it's top 16 and on this map. So even just setting one lap with the below Zeppelin jump will actually put you in top 16 already. If we have a look at the scoreboard right now, it's Tomac who is in 16th with a 1:08.56, and that is already a very slow time on this map, when the first guy is 55.5, which is actually really fast.
Wow, damn. Yeah, Onio really going ham already here in the time attack phase. He's definitely going to be through, so I don't know if he's going to continue driving at this point. So yeah, 55, 54. What is the fastest time, do you know? Or what times did you drive actually in the race?
I think I did 1:55, which was actually a 55.999, so barely scrapped the 55, but I only did like 56 lows.
Okay.
Which resulted in a really good end time. But I believe the world record one lap time with a flying lap is by Carl Jr. right now, 55.19, as far as I know.
That's
which is really fast, yeah.
Unbelievable. So yeah, Onio right now 0.4 behind, which is still like really good, considering that he did this in 5 minutes. He just pulled it out like that. Onio definitely looking strong.
Yeah.
Massa 55.8. Onio is just not even driving anymore. So
yeah, he's just going back and forth on the booster right now. He's done. Yeah, I think that was his second attempt. His first flying lap.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. Unbelievable.
I mean, would you do that actually, or would you actually like warm up a bit more? Because he is for sure in top 16, but he needs to do a 10 lapper in about like 10 minutes time already.
Yeah, that's that's the thing. Like every player probably does it on its own. Like everyone has its own kind of ritual. Some players maybe just keep driving and keep the momentum up, while others maybe decide to take a little break and rest their fingers or something. So I think it really depends from player to player. I personally probably would have just continued driving. To just, you know, keep my momentum up high without really, you know, getting myself distracted by anything or something. So I personally probably would just keep driving at this point. Maybe not full ham, but maybe try to simulate a race by just driving a bunch of laps safe, as you would do it in an actual race.
And I'm currently watching Wally, and he literally jumps over both the Zeppelins, like all the way over the top.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's doing this to get extra speed into the flying lap, but actually it pays off really well.
I mean,
he's
right
already
now,
0.2 ahead of the fastest.
He's actually ahead. Look at that. Wally, ladies and gentlemen, from Canada, is actually right now in front of Onyo's fastest time. He is 0.2 ahead, as you can see it in the bottom right.
That is so smart.
Wow, look at that. He's actually maybe going to clock in the best time. Let's take a look here. Wally now losing a little bit. Tween has actually clocked in a, what is it, 57.13, so he must have messed up the end there, because he had very good splits. Wally now losing to Onyo here in this sector. He is now behind by 200ths of a second. But it's a back and forth. Now the last jump, Wally approaching it, gets it pretty low. Could have been a tad lower maybe. But Wally definitely gonna get a good time here. 55.72, Wally definitely in with this.
Yeah, that's really amazing. That he actually went for the strategy there to gain a lot of momentum into that flying lap, and it pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of figured that people are going to do it, because it's kind of trivial to go for as much speed as possible in flying laps. I don't know if Onyo did it. Apparently not, because he was like 0.2 behind at the start already, so...
Exactly. So he just did a normal start.
Yep.
But let's have a look at the last player right now.
Indeed.
16th, that is still Tomek with his 102.809. So Scotty is looking to potentially move up into Q2 here.
Yeah, let's take a look. Scotty is someone that can definitely make something happen, but I don't know how much he practiced. By the looks of it, he's not very well prepared, since he's already a second behind, 17 seconds into the track. But yeah, Scotty definitely... I would be upset if he doesn't make it through, to be honest, because he is an experienced player and he should be able to put himself into the top 16 here. Oh, that's a beautiful flip right there by Scotty, so this lap is going down the drain. Who else is there that is maybe kind of a surprise right here? K2S? No, I don't know about this guy. Seems to be from Belgium. And he is on 12th place, so right now he would actually go ahead and qualify himself, but he messes up the jump at the end. Maybe a question to you again. How did you approach the end? Did you have any visual cues that you aimed for, or was it just muscle memory and kind of trusting in your instinct?
Yeah, I actually had one visual cue, but this visual cue only worked out if you actually managed to get the lower jump in the first lap. Because if you go on these quarter pipes, it leaves down your skid marks. And I just happened to always go over the same skid marks, and I always made the jump perfectly fine like that. Because there is no other way to actually get a good visual of where to aim. Rollin, one of the other players, always went by feel, but yeah, I just noticed that if I just get the first under the Zeppelin jump correct, then all of the others were 95% in the back already.
Was it something that you did on purpose, like laying your skid marks just like that and trying to orientate with them, or did it just happen by accident and you were like, oh, nice?
I actually noticed it later on in my practice that I was really trying to get a consistent feel for it, but then I suddenly saw the skid marks and I was like, wait a minute, they don't disappear also. And if I just keep on going over them, they will like reapply on the quarter pipe, so they never disappeared. And it actually worked out really well.
Sounds pretty good to me. Following Tween actually right now, who is about to clock in a good time. That was a bit of a far jump here in the quarter pipe. He's definitely going to lose a little bit towards the top times. But he improves his PB and goes up to 4th place with a 56.03. So looks like we have our top 16 here. Tomek actually got knocked down to 17th place. I don't know who it was exactly that pushed him off there, but
6,000ths of a second.
Danny actually, wow. Crazy. Italian player by the looks of it. No, French, never mind, but with the Italian flag. So yeah, Danny actually kicking out Tomek here out of this competition. So we have Tomek, Scotty actually not able to qualify. So the aforementioned upset is actually, coming into play here. And then we had a bunch of other players. The scoreboard is now shuffled up, so I don't know exactly who did not make it through. But yeah, we have our top 16 here that are going to go into Q2. Q2 will be played with 3 maps. And depending on your positions, you will be granted points at the end. And the points will be accumulated. So there's no point loss, no anything that is gonna, you know, ruin your race or ruin your qualification. So it is about doing fast.
Yeah, and if we take a quick look at the point distribution, you really want to get into the top 4 because those are the places which reward the most points here.
Yep.
If you finish just outside of the top 4, maybe 6th is still reasonable, but below that you're losing out on so many points because first place gets 35 points, second gets 28, third 23, fourth 19, and then after that it's just rapidly going downhill. So yeah, you really need to get in that top 4 placing if you want to be in the runs for that last spot in TMGL.
Yep. I think the player that is going to qualify at the end, he will definitely have to place in the top 4 in every map. I think if you get one position that is lower than top 4, it will really diminish your chances of qualifying, I would say. Because, as you said, the gaps in the points are actually really big as you go down the positions. So, yeah, someone that wants to qualify, the big boys in here, they definitely will have to fight for those top places.
Yeah, and the 2 other maps that are in this map pool right now are quite technical, so the players like Massa, Tween, Onyo, they will have the upper hand, in my opinion, on these upcoming tracks. But of course, it's going to be randomized, so the Betweeners map that we had in the Q1 could end up in last place, and one mistake in laps mode can really hurt your positioning on that map.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta be extra sure that you don't make any mistakes, especially in the last jump. We have seen in step 5, we have seen players like Kappa, for example, who actually went for 10 times the high jump above the Zeppelin. Is that something that you can see happening here as well? Do you think that someone is actually going to go for that? Someone that is just going to take it easy without really having to risk?
I think since there's only one spot left, it really depends on when the map is being played. If it's the first map, I would personally go for a safe approach. Because I do have a feeling that many players will make mistakes on this map. But if it's last, and it's really tough to decide if you have to go risky 10 laps or not, because we saw that Kappa, I think he ended up in 4th place after all, or 5th.
I think he was 6th, but he was always constantly at the top with that strat.
Yeah, exactly.
Because players just kept making mistakes and falling down the scoreboard, and then they caught up again by doing the risky jump, so it was kind of a yo-yo effect pretty much.
So yeah, it's really how the players feel about it. Because the in-betweeners map or betweeners map is really a map that is just for feel.
Yeah, at least it feels like it. Like, I haven't played the maps a lot, but yeah, the last jump is going to be really crucial. Since the rest of the map, would you say that it's easily manageable, or is there something that is still kind of possible to mess up on betweeners?
I think the jumps in the middle, where you fly with the underground section jumps, they can be quite tricky sometimes, because often you land wrong, and then one small steering adjustment basically messes up your complete line, and then often you see people crash on the right or just hit on the left on the Randstein, and yeah, all kinds of shenanigans can happen in that middle sector. Yeah,
it feels like if you have like one tiny offset in your line, then it's just going to translate into a big mistake because you can't really save it anymore. At least that's how I felt it.
Yeah.
Because players have made mistakes in step 5 there. We've seen even players like Carl Jr. or Pack that are right now leading the TrackMania Grand League. They even they have made mistakes because it is actually such an unforgiving spot. Like one tiny little steering mistake and your car will flip, or you know, you will just not be able to really hit the good line anymore. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's
So who's your pick then?
my
let's
pick.
have a little.
My
little
pick
bet
for
here.
today. I would of course really hope for a German, of course, like trying to not be biased, but I'm really hoping that that Massa or Onyo are gonna take it because they did very well in the qualifier. They just got unlucky with like one map and that just screwed it over. So I would probably go for Onyo at this point.
Okay.
Just go for it. Because I would like to see Onyo compete again. Because he has been, you know, someone that has been around for a long time and he was very successful. And I would like to see him compete again at the highest level here in 2019 in TrackMania² Stadium.
I think he definitely is capable of doing that. Because I remember when he took a 1-year break and then he came to Gamers Assembly or some other LAN, I can't remember which one it was, and then he played really, really well as well. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Coco is gonna take it, or even Wally if he practiced a lot. But I think the favorite right now is definitely Mossad. If I look at time-based and practice sessions, then he's definitely on top of his game. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Offie, who is like more of a Nadeo hunter, he can definitely do some damage here as well if he prepared himself.
Yeah, that's the thing, like preparation is going to be key, especially for the players that are not super experienced in competitive play. Afi, someone, as you said, he was mostly a time attacker, he mostly plays the Nadeo tracks, or, you know, short LoL maps, and he recently kind of started to really pop off and to really improve his skills, especially in TrackMania² Stadium. So yeah, for him it's definitely going to be a pressure thing as well, because he's not really used to competing on such a big stage. Since we're playing, of course, you know, for the biggest competition in TrackMania that is going on right now, with a prize pool of 15,000 euros. So that is something that might, you know, play a little role in the mentality of the players. And someone like Afi, who's maybe not as experienced, might suffer a little bit from the pressure. But then, after all, practice is key. And by the looks of it, on this track at least, it looks really solid. Afi actually performing really well here, as we warm up on Crescendo by Shadok, which is going to be one of the 3 maps that we're going to see. We have 3 minutes left on the timer, and then after that we will be starting the races. The shuffle will occur after that, so we don't know the map order yet. So will be interesting to see which map is going to be played first.
If it's betweeners and last, oof, that's gonna put some pressure on the players, because that is the most risky map that can really mess you up. So we'll have to see what it's gonna be.
So do you think that this track and the other one, which is Intertwine, that they are easily manageable or easier to manage than betweeners?
Yeah. I think so. I think they are definitely easier to save, at least.
Okay.
I mean, you still on betweeners you can do save lines, but you will lose way more time compared to a safe line on, let's say, this map.
I see. Yeah, this track, you see it right here, it is actually a track that offers a little bit of dirt, which might come into play for a few players. Like Afi, for example. Afi being a player for Team Pulse, so he is kind of an expert in the dirt environment, in the dirt style in this game. So he might do some damage here on this track. And also other players that are maybe a bit more of an all-rounder, like Wally, for example. Wally being someone that is good at all styles. Or someone like Yannick's as well, we're spectating him right now. I think this map is actually going to offer quite some interesting fights, simply due to its nature. We have the dirt, we have the big quarter pipe jump, we have a little bit of tech, we have some drifts. So it is actually a nice variety of track tonight, which is very nice to see. So we have the risky track, we have this mix, and then we have Intertwine, which is the new map, which you are also going to see in Step 6, by the way. So,
yeah, I'm interested to see what these guys will do on that map.
Yeah.
I will open my notepad.
Absolutely. It's going to be a little bit of a sneak peek here to see how the players are going to drive on Intertwine, which is a new map in the rotation for the TrackMania Grand League. Map by Firestorm. You have not seen it yet here on stream. You will see it shortly. Also, a very interesting map with a very interesting concept as well. You're
Yep.
gonna see it shortly, and then we're also gonna have the map previews, of course. So we will not let you without any sort of information here.
Oh, do we have a preview for Intertwine?
We do, yes, absolutely.
Ooh,
Oh, of course we
nice.
have. We have the full preparation right here.
Nice.
Yeah. So we have 25 seconds left on the clock. We have a final warning here from Softy in the chat. Don't quit. Otherwise, you're gonna receive the whip. So you better don't do that. Alright, so I'm very excited. Also, in regards to seeing the map order. Gonna be
Yep,
interesting
that
to
is
see.
gonna be the most exciting moment here, to be honest.
Yep. We're gonna have 2
Between
warm-ups per map, by the way. 2 minutes, sorry. 2 minutes of a warm-up per map, so not a lot, actually. Especially for the track that we have not seen, for Intertwine. Now the players are warmed up on Betweeners and on this one, but not on Intertwine. And it will be the first map, actually. So we have Intertwine, 2 minutes
And
of
also,
warm-up.
Important message by Softy here. Danny is not playing Q2. Scotty will replace him.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's surprising. Why did Danny decide not to play?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
Actually.
Anyway, time to think about this during the map preview. We're gonna have a good look at Intertwine. Mission abort, ladies and gentlemen. We are actually starting on Betweeners. Well, never mind that. Mission abort. Mission abort. Mission abort. We're playing on Betweeners. So we have Betweeners, map 1, Intertwine, map 2, and Crescendo, map 3. So this came out of nowhere. But yeah, gotta go with the flow here, Spam. We have the warm-up here. 1 minute
we
45.
already showed the map overview, and for everyone that was here during the Q1, you've seen the map already. But we're gonna have 2 warm-ups here, 10 laps in total. Who will be the person who collects those 35 juicy points? As we just see a lot of mistakes here in
that
the,
looks
in the
very
jumping
promising
section.
already.
So yeah, the sculpture jump here in the middle is actually, you have a risky line and a safer approach where you actually need to let go of the acceleration a bit. You can jump to the right or go straight through the middle, full speed ahead. And yeah, it will gain you some advantage, but also if you make a mistake there, it is actually more punishing to make a mistake there than at the end where you go through the Zeppelins. So yeah. 1 minute remaining on this warm-up, and Onio is looking quite strong here.
Yeah, indeed. To maybe scratch the time loss that you mentioned on the last jump, how much time do you lose if you don't make it? If you have to respawn, how much time do you lose?
I think if you fly and you instantly know you're not gonna make it, it's either between 6.5 to 7 seconds. But
Ooh.
if the sculpture here in the middle could actually move up to like 9. Depending how quick you react to it.
Yeah,
but yeah, the sculpture is more punishing than the actual Zeppelin hit.
Okay. Crazy to think about all of these spots that he can possibly mess up. So this map as a starter, this is the first map. As we see Coco actually landing on the Zeppelin, but he drops down. Very unfortunate.
This is gonna be this is a mental game here, because if one of the top dogs actually makes a lot of mistakes here, you lose out on so many points.
Yep.
But yeah, here we go then. Round 1.
Let's kick it off. So, as you said, we have 10 laps, and we can quickly have a look at the drivers. We have Scotty, Alex, Pex, Krim, Energize, Tween, Matt, Yannick, Wally, Massa, Arma, Loki, Onio, Coco, Zeno, and Afi. So we have a massive lineup right here. And this is going to be a truly exciting race. We're currently following Onio, who is a little bit off to a not so great start. He made a tiny mistake in that little quarter pipe transfer. Already lost 0.4 towards the leader, who is Massa right now, the German player for Team BIG. Right now, leading in front of Matt, Tween, and Coco, I think, is also in the mix right there. So, a very close top 5. But Massa makes the first mistake here in lap 1, hits the sculpture, and that actually was better than expected, because
Yeah, he was
that could
really
have gone
lucky there.
that could have gone worse. Massa with the first mistake.
Lucky.
Going to the
and
first
here we
jump.
go then. Oh no!
Oi, 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 oi. Those
Tween
were
flipping upside down.
Yep.
Oh, but he lands it.
Tween,
We saw a lot of
Wally
mistakes.
as well with a respawn, Pex with a respawn, Locky with a respawn, Arma doesn't even make the jump over the water. So a lot of players actually making a mistake in lap 1, and it is Onyo that takes over the lead in front of Coco, Massa, Yannick's, Afi, and Energize.
Yeah, and Tween and Matt, both very well developed players. They finding themselves far behind now. Already had to, yeah, they made a mistake in the Zeppelin and had to adjust their lines completely. But it is Onyo, the German, followed by the Frenchie Coco, and then Massa. That is currently the top 3 here.
Ooh, Yannick's also making a mistake in the underground section. Lost a little bit of time, but he still remains on position 6. Now we're gonna have the jump for the second time. We have Onyo in the lead with actually quite a big margin over Massa already. That's almost a whole second. Onyo is going for it. Onyo makes it. Massa makes it. Energize goes low as well. Yannick's goes low. Afi and Coco went high, so they're gonna lose out on a little bit of time. But no one really with a big mistake here. Everyone survives lap 2 spam.
Yep. Everyone survives, and we see Matt and Tween with that lower jump on the Zeppelin. They actually creep up a little bit towards the other players who did a safer line. But it is Germany up in the lead here with 1 and 2. And the gap between Onyo and Massa is actually close to...
Look at that! So
nothing.
close! Going into lap 3, we have Massa and Onyo just 500s apart from each other. Now the sculpture jump that Massa messed up once. This time gets close to it, but manages to avoid it. Very close lines by Massa. Really risky. Of course, Massa being known for a driving style like this. He gains a little bit of time over his countryman. Onyo also gets more exit speed out of that right-hander. But now we have the decisive jump. We have the Zeppelin jump for the 3rd time. Massa makes it. Onyo makes it as well. Onyo loses a bit of time here. That was not optimal. Loses another 10th on Massa. But other than that, I think everyone else is surviving. We have a big gap down to 3rd. Look at that. Coco is more than 2 seconds behind Onyo already. Unbelievable.
And we do have Coco going for the middle jump in the Zeppelin. So Tween did catch up quite a bit. But yeah, the gaps are really extending right now. Massa holding on to a 1.5 second lead. Then Onyo, who made a small mistake in the enormous downhill platform part. Hit the pillar a little bit. Lost a lot of speed there. But still finds himself in 2nd. That is a solid position to be in. Massa about to overlap Mr. SQL Arma here. But of course, we are approaching that Zeppelin jump once again.
Yep.
Can he do it?
Here we go. Massa
Yes, he can.
makes it. Onyo passes just fine. Then we have Tween now who went up to 3rd place. Coco goes high. Afi goes high again. So we see these 2 drivers that always go high, it seems. They are playing the safe card, and they hope that the others are making a mistake, which right now didn't happen. So right now, this strat doesn't really work out for Afi and for Coco. They are finding themselves on 5 and 6, which would yield them 16 and 13 points for the total score, respectively. So not the greatest gain for them, but we're only halfway through, so a lot can happen.
Yep, Massa is now approaching a critical part in the 10-lapper because you're over halfway. And you have not made a mistake at the Zeppelin yet, so that will put a little bit of pressure on you, because then you needed to do it 5 more times, and he is approaching it again. The gap is a little bit smaller now, 1.3 seconds. What was a 1.5 second gap? But here we go then. I think he got it again.
Yeah. Oh, Onyo hit! Onyo hit, but he saves it! Onyo saves it! Oh my god, Onyo remains on 2nd place, but he lost 1.2 seconds with that 360 stunt that he did there. Tween is now coming dangerously close, but a great save by Onyo. I think that must have put his heartbeat up to 300 BPM for a second. Holy moly.
Yep, and that, I mean, a mistake is lurking in a small corner there, like one small touch, and Onyo was actually lucky that he 360 no-scoped it and actually landed in the lower quarter pipe.
Yep.
But this is a great opportunity for Massa now. He should know that he is almost 4 seconds ahead. Can take all of the turns a little bit safer now, more caution, and perhaps he might even go for the over the Zeppelin jump if he keeps it up like this.
Knowing Massa, I don't think he's gonna do that. He is definitely gonna go for the low jump here. He does it again, and he hits! And he hits! Massa died! Massa died, and he's losing 2 positions with that. Maybe even more. Let's take a look at that. Massa now in a fight with Onyo as well. What is happening?
Oh my god.
Onyo died as well. Tween is in the lead. I can't believe what's happening. Lap 6 has killed both of the leaders.
This is just how it can go, Riolu. Tween, who found himself at 8th or 9th position in lap 1, finds himself now in 1st. He's the hot seat right now. But Massa still in 2nd. That just shows how much of an advantage he had. And the respawn actually was like 7 seconds there. But the whole approach that Massa did in that jump, it was so completely off from what he did in the previous 5 attempts. So hopefully he can shake it off and do it properly now.
Yeah, let's see. It's definitely going to be a pressure thing now, knowing that it happened once and it can happen anytime again. Massa takes it very safe. He jumped very high there, but he remains on position 2. Tween is 3 seconds ahead, and we are in lap 8 already. Yannick's doing really well here. He capitalized on these mistakes. He was lurking in the shadows, and he was waiting for this to happen. Now he is in a fight with Onyo, who wants to redeem himself for that mistake. He, I think, made another mistake after that, because he lost additional time. So, yeah, Onyo also with a small time loss there. Coco went up to 5th, Afi on 6th, Matt on 7th. So, yeah, Wally also went from last to 8th, which is pretty good. But 20 seconds behind the leader. So, yeah, as kind of expected, we have very big gaps between the players. We have seen that in step 5. We see it here again. It's not really a surprise considering the difficulty and the unforgivingness of this track. And we're coming up to the next jump right here. Tween makes it just fine. Massa now goes for a really low jump. He makes it. Onyo in there. Loki gets overlapped. Yannick's now still in the mix here. And then we have a big gap down to Coco and Afi. Many seconds back. Is Afi even gonna make it? Oh, that was close.
Oh.
Matt didn't make it though. Matt had to go for a respawn. So yeah, the positions are getting even further spread out now.
Yeah, we have only 2 laps remaining. Tween is losing time rapidly. I have to point that out because the lead is now only 1.9 seconds. So Tween has already lost about 1.5 seconds in 1.5 laps. So he needs to keep the acceleration button pressed hard because the final lap is coming up. Let's see if he can do the Zeppelin jump. Here he goes. This is the pressure moment now. And he will get it. Very good jump as well. Massa does so also. And Onyo as well. Ooh, Coco is far behind. Made a huge mistake.
Ooh, Coco indeed. Actually finding himself behind Yannick's now. What kind of distance do we have here? We have more than 2 seconds between 4th and 5th place here. So we're going into the last lap. Tween is going into lap 10 with a 2.1 second advantage. Massa on 2nd place. Onyo on 3rd. He's 3.144 seconds behind. So actually 1 whole second behind Massa right now. Let's take a look.
Tween will lose some time here.
Tween will get the Randstein. That was really risky by Tween. But he survives that. Massa is coming a little bit closer. 1.9 seconds now. Onyo still waiting for something to happen. The last jump right here. The pressure. One more time.
Is he gonna go under? Is Tween gonna go under? That is the question. I think with this approach he is. Yes, he will.
No, you won't!
Oh,
but Tween makes it, and Massa makes it as well. Onyo survives as well. The top 3 being Tween with a 933.04, Massa with a 934, and Onyo with a 935. So good race up front. And then a big gap down to 4th place. It is Yannick that takes 4th place. Coco on position 5. Afi, the next one who goes for a very high jump. Is he even going to make it? Yes, okay. That was, yeah, interesting approach right there by Afi. But he makes it. He's 21.1 seconds behind the leader. Wally taking position 7. Matt, the only South American player in the mix here from Brazil, taking 8th place. Next up is going to be Pex from Portugal. He is a whopping 37.426 seconds behind. Energize. Whoa. That is a jump to the ISS right here. But he makes it. And he takes position number 9. His teammate Alex, 2 Meta League players, but Alex falls off right at the end. And he's going to contemplate life right here. He's actually turtling, trying to save it right here. Alex sits there, contemplates life, will not get any points. Oh, he will actually get points. So the players will get points even if they don't finish. Which is good. apparently they do get the... Wait, what?
What?
Oh, never mind. Okay, they did not get points. Alright. Looked like it, looked like it. Alright.
Then.
Map number
coming.
2. We have this track. It is intertwined. So let's play the map preview again, because now I'm sure that we're gonna stay on this one. Alright, so that was the map preview made by Pikes, of course, who is making all of these juicy map previews for you. So yeah, Intertwine. This is a new map in the TrackMania Grand League rotation. Map by Firestorm, and as you could see in the map preview, this one offers quite a bunch of interesting spots. For example, the big ride over the sculpture, followed by a water bounce into a drop onto the slope. So this is kind of the identity of this track right here. Of course, also a bunch of other parts, for example, grass sections and the blue parts that are all very, very important to do right. I don't know, what about you? Have you practiced this a lot so far, or is it still a map that you put on a back burner?
I've had my fair share of this map, and I think the most difficult part on this map is really the grip changes when you go from grass to blue, full grip, and then to grass, and then full grip again. It's really messing with your brain, and it can be very troublesome. But overall, this map is a masterpiece, definitely.
You like it that much?
Yeah. It's a really well-built map. It has like everything that you want to see in a TrackMania Grand League map, that's for sure.
Alright, so props to Firestorm for making this one happen. We're going into the first lap. We have 10 laps here again, and currently following Onyo, who is once again off to a little bit of a safer start. We have seen that on map 1 already. He went a little bit easier into the first lap and then decided to, you know, push B for boost and actually come a little bit closer to the leaders of this race. Speaking about the leader, it is Massa once again leading this race here, going onto the water bounce section now. Everyone makes it just fine. The water bounce not hard to get, I would say. You just need to angle up yourself kind of properly without losing control over your car in the air, and then you should be fine. So the water bounce will not be that crucial for this race, and we have seen no mistakes here by any of the top players.
Yep, and actually surprising name there. Offie, oh, he
Offie,
was leading,
damn.
but now he makes a mistake, and this is what I'm talking about. You cannot make the jump now anymore. You have to go for a safer outside line, and look at the players. They are all passing him, and Offie will drop down quite a few positions, but the leader of the race right now is Massa, followed by...
And also Afi did another additional wall touch at the first, second blue part on the big grass. So Afi loses some more time. He's 4 seconds behind the leader, so Afi definitely feeling the pressure now, and he needs to make something happen to come closer to the other drivers. Massa continues to lead this race. He is actually getting passed by Tween as we speak. The gap was 0.4, and now it is actually the other way around, but Massa with a much superior exit out of the underground section. That is something that I have seen while watching Massa's practice sessions, that the last drift in the underground section is actually very crucial for the speed outcome. If you happen to touch the dirt too much, then you will not have enough speed to actually make it up smoothly to the multi-lap. So that is actually going to give you quite a big time gain if you make that properly. So that is something that Massa clearly benefits from. As you can see, he gained 0.3 in the first half of lap 3. Yannick is actually on second place, doing really good here on this track. He's in a fight with Tween, going through this set of drifts. Now we have the transitions. Actually pretty difficult to get these right, because you want to opt for the lowest possible jump with the maximum ground contact, which Yannick did not do all too well. He's going to lose a lot of speed on that sculpture section. So Yannick's down to 4th place. Onyo will pass, and the German will go up to 3rd place.
Yeah, Massa really controlling the pace now of the race. He is half a second ahead, and what a race it would be if Massa gets first here and Tween gets second. Then we have an equal points going into map number 3. That would be... Oh, but Tween makes a huge mistake now. He clipped on the grass, and he will not be able to make the jump here.
Yep.
So we'll lose out on 3 positions. Coco, Yannick, and Onyo all passing him. So this is really, really terrible for Tween. Even Wally comes back. Oi, 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 but we're only 4 laps in out of the 10, so anything can still happen, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with these tiny details that are kind of spread, that are sprinkled all over the track. You really want to make sure that you get those right if you want to be one of the fastest. And Massa seemingly doing that very well. He has accumulated a 0.6 lead over his countryman Onyo right now. 0.63 going into the last corner. Both of them getting this turn very nicely. Both of them will land just perfectly going into lap number 5. And they have gained 1 second over Yannick, who has 19 points right now. So he is continuing to collect some very good points, but it would not be enough to come close to the leaders. We have Massa, who is of course going to go up in the lead. We have Onyo, who's going to get some good points. Tween, who is the leader right now, who got the 35 points from map 1, is actually going to lose out on some points if he continues to stay on position number 5. So he wants to make something happen, and knowing Tween, I think he definitely wants to push it again after that little mistake that he did. I think he's not going to be happy about this, and he's definitely going to try to redeem himself and to, you know, make up for that mistake that he did. He's 3.1 seconds behind, which is a lot on a map like this. But yeah, we will see what the next couple of laps will bring.
Yeah, Massa is really pushing it right now. He's extending his lead bit by bit. Drives 58.0x.
Yep.
Very fast times here. I believe the fastest lap right now is a 57 something. But yeah, Massa really pushing it. 6 laps in. He has 5 remaining. And Onyo not really getting closer. But a mistake can kill you very, very hard, especially on these grippy turns. Massa saving it just a little bit, I think. Not the Massa that we are used to see here. He really wants to keep this pace up and not make any mistakes.
Oh, Massa with a little bit of a wonky landing, but also Onyo goes very wide here in that landing. I don't know if that was very optimal. Let's see if he lost any time to the leader. The gap has actually increased down to Coco. It is now 3 whole seconds. And that just shows how much of a great pace the 2 Germans are putting up on this track. They're burning those crazy lap times into the asphalt. Onyo with a 58.2 and also Massa with a low 58 once again. And these are the lap times that I also predict to see in Step 6 when the champions are gonna drive on this track. People like Carl Jr., Pack, Scrappy, even you, Spam, are definitely going to go for these low 58s and high 57 times. Those are going to be really, really valuable. And you can see that also here. It is the perfect example, pretty much. This map is, as I said before, it is giving us a sneak peek into what awaits us on Step 6 in TrackMania Grand League. Massa still leading. He has gained a little bit on Onyo now.
Oh, Tween with a mistake. He gets a nose slide, barely makes a jump, and I think... Oh, that was Krim, actually, who didn't make that
Yeah, I saw someone...
But man, oh man,
yep.
It is Tween really losing a lot of time here, and that will put a dent in his in the points that he accumulated on the first map. But Massa really looking stronger. We are in lap number 8 right now. The gap between Massa and Onyo still 1 second flat, and it's not looking to get any smaller. It's only getting bigger and bigger as Massa from Team Big is actually progressing in this lap. Coco and Tween, I think that is the fight that is really going to be interesting here in these last couple of laps.
Yeah, also, Yannick's, I think, was the guy that made that mistake from the previous lap. He dropped down to 7th place. So Yannick's, who used to be on position 3, 4, ranging between that, actually dropped down to 7th place. So that must have been a big blunder by Yannick's. Very unfortunate. That is also gonna hurt him a lot in the total scoreboard.
Yep, and Massa still controlling the pace. Let's actually see what kind of time he is clocking into here.
Yep.
Should be another 57.
Massa, he gets a 58.18.
Okay, that's still a very solid time. Ooh, Onyo actually losing out a lot here. And we have the gap is now 2 seconds for Massa. If he is a smart player right now, he should notice this. And Tween really needs to get this Coco in 3rd place.
He's trying.
If he ends up in 4th, it's gonna be very tough to claim victory on the last map. Because Crescendo, definitely a map where Massa shines the brightest. Very tacky.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ooh, 3.7 now.
Onyo has actually made another mistake. Onyo really crumbling right now. Makes many mistakes consecutively in the last couple of laps. So now there's a 3-man battle going into the final lap. We have Onyo going into the sculpture, leading this 3-man pack. Then we have Coco on 2nd and Tween on 3rd. Massa is running away, and it is his race to lose. Massa is 4 seconds behind. Even a small wall touch is not going to hurt him. But yeah, we gotta see what's gonna happen. Onyo is still having kind of a decent advantage here over Coco and Tween. Tween is creeping in closer just a tiny little bit, but it's not enough to go for any sort of overtake right here. Now this grass part gonna be important with the grip and with the gear changes as well. All of the 3 players make it pretty nicely. Onyo actually gets away a little bit from Coco and Tween, but Onyo makes a mistake! Onyo goes for the safe approach, and Coco will go for the overtake. Same for Tween. Onyo from 2nd to 4th place within a blink of an eye. Onyo really feeling the pressure right here, and it is now the position fight for position number 2. Tween versus Coco. Massa's gonna take it, and Tween! What? Tween goes right into the checkpoint. He just forgot to turn. And even Afi's gonna go for the overtake. Tween with the mistake of his life.
Oh, and that's it, man. That's probably over for Tween.
Tween is out of this one. Massa wins over Coco and Onyo. Afi takes 4th place after making a couple of mistakes. He's 11.8 seconds behind. And he takes position number 4. Wally on 5th. Yannick's on 6th. Even they are capitalizing on Tween's complete brain fart. I have no idea what happened there.
I don't know either myself. He just kept on going straight.
I don't know if that was lag or something, but it looked so odd. He was like jumping, and he just went straight into the checkpoint.
Yep, and that might be enough, actually. That might be already almost it.
Yeah, this is the GG for Tween. There's no way he's gonna recover from this unless Massa and Onyo happen to magically disconnect or get 10th and 11th or something. But yeah, Tween most likely threw it away with this. And we have no idea what happened there.
Let's have a look at the points now. Yeah.
Massa with 63 points. He's 17 points ahead of Tween and Onyo, who are both sitting there with 46 points. So Massa looking incredibly well going into the last map of tonight. It is Crescendo by Shadok. Quick map review, and then we're gonna dive into the final race of tonight. Alright, we have the final map coming up. We need a little bit of a break to let that sink in for a moment. This massive blunder by Tween, that is going to be something that he's going to be extremely upset about. I know that already, because we don't know what the circumstances were. But Tween is always someone that is really, you know, striving for doing his best. And that was definitely a mistake that is going to haunt him for a while, because that just looked completely off. I just have no words. So Tween is going to be out of this one. Massa, 17 points ahead. I don't see him throwing that away, Spam.
Yeah, exactly. This is a massive lead that he has. And yeah, if he's a smart player right now, he should just save it. Even getting top 4, top 5 will definitely make him the victorious guy here. But man, oh man, that mistake from Tween really turned the tables around.
Yeah, absolutely. That basically eliminated one of the favorites completely out of this last map, because now whatever Tween does, it's not really gonna matter unless, as I said, some unforeseeable things happen. Like, I don't know, Onyo makes big mistakes, Massa disconnects or something. Like, you know, all of these crazy things that, of course, we wish not to happen. But there's always a chance for them to happen. Anyway, we're going into the last map right here. It is Crescendo by Shadok with the identity of this big waterpipe jump. Afi has actually gone up into the lead, but he has to respawn, and that is already gonna ruin him the entire race. Afi did not make the little cut jump before the quarter pipe, and he loses 5.4 seconds with that in lap 1.
I'm still so flabbergasted by what happened on the
yeah,
previous match.
same. Absolutely.
My mind is still blown. I rewatched the clip a little bit, and yeah, he just completely stopped steering at all. Didn't do anything. But let's focus on the race here, because we have Coco in last place, Wally in last place, so they are out and about for what I can tell right now. But it is Onyo also not doing so well. Is currently in 5th place, and the leader of the race, Massa, in 1st. Alex actually is doing very well here.
Indeed.
Finds himself in 3rd place.
Indeed, Alex for Team Metaleague might be a dirt player. Not quite sure as of now, but he seems to be doing really well, even though he completely messed up the landing after the quarter pipe jump. It is a landing that is actually pretty interesting and pretty weird as well, because you have such a long jump, and the way that the car behaves in the air is, let's say, unnatural. We have seen that in step 5, I think, when we played this track the last time. Yeah. That players were having quite some problems actually keeping control over their car. Maybe you can confirm that as well. Is it something that can just happen randomly? Is there something that you can do about this?
It is definitely a random... Well, your car just acts really weird there, and it's just how you react to it, basically. But I have not had it happen to myself yet.
Tween got a really awkward slowdown. I don't know if you caught that, Spam. But after the little cut jump, he got a slowdown at the landing. It looked really awkward, and he gets passed by Onyo as a result. Tween dropping down to 3rd, and the unluck is just continuing to strike for Tween. That is definitely not going to be his evening. He's not going to look back onto this qualifier with pleasure, I think.
No, definitely not. And once again, Massa is controlling the pace right now. He finds himself already half a second in the lead.
Full stop into the Christmas trees, going from 4th to 10th place now, 11th place.
Ay. And the Metaleague guys are really representing here. It's probably because the dirt is really in their favor. They are in 5th, 6th, and 7th. Oh, but a huge mistake. And Tween with a huge mistake. Oh, Tween is completely out right now.
Yeah.
He can't make this jump.
Yeah, he makes it. Ay, Jesus Christ. Tween. He is really not feeling it. I think he just wants this evening to be over. He knows that he can't leave, even though one player left. I think it was one of the SQL guys that left the map too. So that is going to result in a disqualification for upcoming TrackMania Grand Leagues. Matt with a big mistake in lap 5. He was on position 3.
Oh, Tween as well.
And Tween with another mistake. Yeah, that just hurts to watch at this point. Seeing someone like Tween just making so many mistakes, that's not Tween. That's just...
Do you think it's because of the mode, or do you think he's just not prepared enough? Because, of course, Tween is a phenomenal player.
Absolutely.
He drives out of his mind in technical competitions. But this is, of course, an endurance format. And do you think that is what's really hurting him?
I think it's definitely one of the factors that play into his cards, but or against his cards rather. But yeah, I think it's just not being used to this whole situation and not being used to having so much pressure in lap 10, because you could clearly see that he had a good pace throughout the first map. He took first, so he knows how to drive these races. But I think the fact that the pressure in that certain situation really got him, just completely made him crumble. And yeah. I don't know how much he practiced. It's hard to tell because most players just practice offline and they're not streaming their progress like Massa did. Massa's progress was really transparent, for example, because you really saw how he progressed, and it pays off. Like you see, he did really well. That's something that we can't really see for Tween. So it's hard to tell how much time he invested into these tracks. But yeah, I think right now it's just tilt. Absolutely, it's definitely tilt. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and we saw Massa with a small mistake, but he still finds himself in second place. So it is all good in the hood for Massa. Onyo is leading, however, but if Massa makes a big mistake here, then he could potentially drop down to third. What is the gap here? Yeah, the gap
5
between
seconds.
Yeah, it's a lot already. So Massa needs to make a huge mistake.
Ooh, Energize gets a red time. Unfortunately, he was on position 12. Now he's going to be out of this. So a DNF for Energize. Not really going to matter, but it's of course always frustrating if you're playing for 5.5 minutes already and then you get a red time. That's of course very unfortunate and nothing that you can really do about. But yeah, that's the race. Lap number 7, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into lap number 8. It is Onyo that leads with half a second over his countryman Onyo. They're both giving it all. And going into the next dirt section, it is Massa that risks the entry quite a bit, and also the uphill was executed very well for both players. This right-hander, a bit crucial with the gear. You need to make sure that you don't get the gear change during the turn, otherwise you're going to get the slowdown, which is of course something that you want to avoid. Now the quarter pipe jump, both are opting for the lowest possible jump. Massa gets it very well together with Onyo. So both with a very, very similar jump trajectory. The gap remains just around the same. It's still 0.3 of a second. However, Massa now with a bit more speed over the freewheeling section has caught up actually 1/10 of a second. Massa closing into Onyo now, going into lap number 9. I think Massa is now pushing it a little bit here to come closer and to maybe go for the overtake. Not sure if he knows.
He really wants that first place, I think.
I think so, yeah. He's hungry, definitely. But a wonky approach right there for Massa, and that might decide the race here. That is going to be a 1+ second time loss for Massa. That was a very unfortunate entry into the dirt section. He went over the bumps a little too hard, and the bumps, of course, ruin your grip, and it is really hard to keep control over your car as you go over these bumps. So Onyo is now 2.4 seconds ahead of Massa. That is going to be hard to lose. And with this being said, it is Tween who actually went up to third place again. What?
Massa clipped the checkpoint. He almost flew out of the map. Imagine if he did not take the checkpoint there, he would have had to respawn all the way behind.
That would have maybe even ruined his qualification. That was very, very crunchy right there by Massa. But we are going into the final lap. Massa has lost additional 1.7 seconds or something with that tiny blunder. We have not really caught it on stream, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna trust your word that it was close.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a crazy risk by Massa, apparently, in lap 9, which is unnecessary to say the least.
Definitely unnecessary. Yeah, he had a quite unfortunate landing out of the big wall, and then he just steered too soon to the right, because you have this little checkpoint pillar.
Yep.
And he hit that. Luckily for him, he got the checkpoint. But yeah, we can already congratulate him for his victory here. Did a really good performance. Unfortunately, Tween, who did manage to get third on this map, it could have been interesting. But it is Massa who joins TMGL for the remaining steps.
GG. Very well deserved. Like, absolutely deserved performance.
Yep.
And result for Massa. He did outstandingly on all 3 maps. No mistakes whatsoever, really. Of course, a couple of mistakes, but still enough to beat the big names, Onyo and Tween, in this race. Very, very well done by Massa. So, as you said, he is going to join the TrackMania Grand League. He's going to replace Sky. So we have the third German-speaking player that is gonna run alongside Dexter and Roland. So Massa for Team Big is gonna join up and will compete from step 6 onwards. However, with 0 points. So it will be hard for Massa to make something happen in the remaining of the step, because he needs to gain a lot of points on the next races to have a saying and to qualify for the playoffs, which of course only the top 8 will qualify for. So how would you say Massa is gonna approach this? Is he gonna go full focus now into this one and try to make it happen?
I think knowing Massa, he should be really motivated. But I think a massive key factor is the maps. The maps need to be pretty good for him to be super motivated. And it also, yeah, if I was him, I would just go full all out, because there's not much to lose here. But yeah, the top 8 is still really close. It's only 70 points, and you can get 100 points per step. So, I mean, we've seen Pack get 90 plus points already.
Yeah, Carl Jr. as well. So it can happen, and Massa certainly is someone that can make it happen, because he is a fast player. He is a consistent player as well. As you said, the maps will be important, and I'm not quite sure, but also the fact that you win €100 per map is also going to play a crucial role, because I can see Massa definitely risk it for the biscuit just to get the $100 into his pocket.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it will be very interesting. I think with Massa, we have a great addition to the TrackMania Grand League. He's going to be a worthy replacement for Sky, I would say. And, yeah, with that being said, this is going to conclude the qualifier, which has taken place right here, right now. For the TrackMania Grand League, Massa will compete from step 6 onwards. Step 6, which will happen next week, Sunday. It is gonna be the, let me see on my calendar, the 31st of March at 8 PM CET. Twitch TV/Mania Planet. It will be casted once again by your boy Riolu, which is me. And it will be amazing.
By me.
Played by Spam. Spam will play. And it is gonna be a truly exciting. So step 6. Make sure to not miss out on that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for casting, Spam. It was a pleasure.
Yes, was very fun.
And I will see all of you next week, 8 PM CET, Twitch TV/Mania Planet. Don't forget to drop the follow. Smash that follow button. And yeah, other than that, have a good night. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you around.
Bye.